Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to my corner of the world. We are here for an official Divine reaction to his video, The Truth, Sung Jin-woo versus Son Goku. Who wins? This is obviously solo leveling versus Dragon Ball. I already have my answer for who wins this, but I'm very curious to see how Divine is going to be breaking this down. So I'm not going to say who I think wins until the end, because I just don't want to ruin it for myself. But I have an inclination on who would win. I think I know who wins this. We'll see at the end though. But yeah, we got these two aura farmers. Like Sung Jin-woo, he's a habitual aura farmer, and Goku, he really only does it when he knows he's stronger than you, like literally every other Saiyan. But you know, it's about all the aura farmers. Let's get into it. Link to the original video will be in the description if you want to check it out on your own. Let's run this up. Let's see who's got the better set of hands. That sounds crazy.
Goku.
Who's the better fighter?
In the world, Goku has always been the bar of strength for every one of them. And now we have a matchup between two of the strongest. The Necromancer with the power of a player to get stronger with every win, versus the Saiyan who shatters his limits every single battle. So who wins? The one who gives his life till death, or the one who gives death to life?
Yeah.
Who wins? Son Jin-woo versus Son Goku. Son Jin-woo, labeled as the weakest hunter in history. However, history is about to be rewritten when he enters a double dungeon. Looking around, he sees statues, and on a tablet it reads out the commands from God himself. With most of the hunters in the dungeon being instantly killed, they begin following the commands. But the last command is where it gets interesting, as they have to prove
it is normal.
Fate.
All right, I guess it's just him.
Behind so that everyone can escape, it seems to be the end, with his final words being, "I wish I had another chance." And in that moment, a screen pops up asking if he wants to live. Waking up, Son Jin-woo feels straight out of a dream, as a system granted him the ability to become a player.
Because, realistically, would any of you guys go through
seems to be the end,
all
with
of
his
this
final words being,
to get his powers?
I wish I had another chance. And in that moment, a screen pops up asking if he wants to live. Waking up, Son Jin-woo feels straight out of a dream. I'm
so curious. Would any of you guys go through what Jinu went through to get his powers? Because that is a lot.
System granted him the ability to become a player, and now he must complete daily tasks to get stronger, or there will be punishments. With each task that he completes, he gains rewards that he can use to increase his stats, and he's going to put all of his points into strength. Entering dungeon, Wu begins leveling up extremely fast. With the more monsters he kills, the stronger and stronger he gets, with the system itself being programmed to keep him alive. Later, Jin-woo is notified by the system to undergo a job change, with one condition being that the longer he survives in the dungeon, the higher chances he has of getting a good job. Jin-woo accepts and begins defeating all of the monsters in the dungeon until he comes face to face with one, the blood-red commander Igris. Jin-woo realizes that his opponent is unlike anything he's ever faced, and as their battle begins, Jin-woo is getting completely outclassed in every category, with Jin-woo's sword having no effect on him as he decides to use his bare hands, and Igris decides to do the same. And yet he's still being thrashed around and lands on the throne of an empty king. And right before he's killed, he catches Igris's sword and uses that split second to stab Igris in the neck and ultimately defeat him. After defeating Igris, Jin-woo is sent to the penalty area because he forgot to do his daily quest. And when he returns, the time spent in that area counts towards his survival time. And once all of the enemies are defeated, it's no surprise that he was given the highest grade of Necromancer there is, receiving the title of Shadow Monarch, with Jin-woo now gaining the ability of shadow extraction. But this needs a key word. In order to survive in this world, you don't have to be the strongest. No, he won't listen to those lies. If you want them to wake up, say the word. arise.
Yeah.
And with that single word, all of the defeated soldiers are reborn as a shadow army, but there's one more who's still asleep. Jinwoo tries to awaken Icarus but fails twice, with him having only one more chance, telling Icarus to fight for the man standing in front of him, and puts his hand out and says arise. And with that, he awakens his first boss summon, the Commander of Shadows, Icarus. Jinwoo would go on to get even stronger, recruiting even more powerful soldiers into his army, with most of his shadows possessing insane physical strength and immense magical power, recruiting warriors like Tank, Iron, and Tusk, as well as the Ant King Baru. But this goes even further back than Jinwoo. At the dawn of time, there only existed two things, light and darkness, until the absolute being split light into the rulers and darkness into the monarchs. Both the rulers and monarchs are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, once it started because I've read the manhwa already, like all of the like original story, like the main story. I've read all that already, and it's like, dude, once it started getting into the actual like monarch stuff, you honestly realize just how like held back the first part of the story is, because it's the first part of the story feels like so grounded and like humane that it's literally just like humans versus monsters. It's like it feels very grounded in that sense, humans versus monsters. But once you get into the monarchs of it all, and like the whole war between the rulers and the monarchs, and then like the invasion, and it's like it like it explodes your expectations. It gets so crazy. It really gets so crazy. That's why I remember people saying like the anime, like the first two seasons really only covers like the beginning of the story. They were not lying. They were not lying at all. Like that's really only the beginning. Once you get into the monarchs of it all, the story gets so expansive.
As the rulers
even with, especially like with Ragnarok now, like it expands far beyond what I thought it was going to be.
Eons between the monarchs and rulers. The rulers eventually killed the absolute being and killed all remnants of his existence. One ruler disagreed with this and turned on the rest, fighting for his god. In the end, he was granted one wish from God himself, the power to control the dead. And now all of this power is in the palm of Jinwoo's hand. But there's only one major problem. No one could handle the full power of the Shadow Monarch, but this is where the system comes in. The architect works with the Monarch of Shadows and makes a system that a human could eventually build up enough power to handle the Monarch's full strength. So in order for a human to get the full strength, he would have to build up more and more levels, eventually being able to use 100% capability. And the strength that Jinwoo achieves is absolutely ridiculous. According to the author of the solo leveling light novel, Rakon, the King of Beasts, even while weakened due to him being on Earth, has strength to turn the planet to dust, with Shunjin being even stronger than the previous Monarch of Shadows and the Monarch of Destruction that are stated and shown to be on a completely different level than the rest of the monarchs. The true power of the Shadow Monarch is a weapon that is meant to destroy everything that God created. He killed all 8 monarchs and their army of 10 million soldiers, and effortlessly killed hundreds of titans, a race of planet-eating giants that possess powers equal to the monarchs themselves. In the light novel chapters 219 and 220, Sun Jinwoo talks with Ashbourne, where he reveals the truth of the monarchs and rulers. The monarchs themselves would scale to the rulers due to them fighting against each other for eons, and in turn would scale to their feat of killing the absolute being, with it being stated that this being created everything in the universe, all dimensions, and even the world of death, which is stated to be infinite in size. With Sun Jinwoo being so focused on being stronger, he didn't forget to put some of his points into speed. As seen in his fight with the Monarch of Destruction, Jinwoo was able to dodge and react to Endos's attacks, which were described as moving at the speed of light. This is pretty interesting considering the system's strength stats contributes to your overall power and of course your speed. And he was even stated to be faster than light, but you can actually get him higher if you think that the monarchs themselves existed before time, which Jinwoo would be able to react to. As the new Shadow Monarch, Jinwoo is immortal and will live an eternal life, and those who die can be brought back with a single word. Within the series of Ragnarok, Jinwoo fights against outer gods, which are beings that are the same race as the absolute being and who have extra dimensional magic that can break dimensional walls. Overall, Sun Jinwoo would scale from multiversal to complex multiversal with massively faster than light to immeasurable speed. So can Goku hope to defeat a fighter this strong? Well, Son Goku, a Saiyan whose goal is to become the strongest mortal in the multiverse, even before the divine events of Dragon Ball Super, Goku's strength was ridiculous, as he was able to surpass characters like the Emperor of the Universe Frieza, who while holding back the force of his blast, still had enough power to destroy Namek, with the explosion being so powerful that it was seen outside of the galaxy, granting him multi-solar system levels of power, and even has multiple statements and guides that say Frieza could destroy the entire universe itself in his second form alone, surpassing Cell, who as well as Frieza has statements of being able to destroy the entire universe, and was also stated multiple times that he has infinite and bottomless strength, and not just in reference to the infinite energy that androids have, but his literal battle power as stated by the narrator, surpassing characters like the Grim Reaper of Justice Gotenks as a Super Saiyan 3, who is powerful enough to scream out of dimensions and warp reality simply by existing. And of course, we can't forget Majin Buu, who as Buhan was threatening to destroy the entire universe with alternate dimensions just by powering up. Goku at this point in the series is fast enough to traverse through hell, which is stated to be infinite in size, granting him infinite speed, which is defined as crossing an infinite distance in a finite amount of time. Entering into the events of Dragon Ball Super, Goku is the strongest fighter on Earth and is now face to face with the god of destruction Beerus, who is in search for a being that will become his rival, a Saiyan enveloped in divine energy, a Super Saiyan god. Beerus is so strong that he's able to humiliate Super Saiyan 3 Goku and defeat him in only 2 blows.
Yeah, that's actually so crazy too when you think about it. This dude Beerus is so strong. He completely dominated a fight against Goku to the point that he flicked him on the head and Goku got sent back like 20 feet. That's crazy. That is so crazy to think about.
With Goku stating that not even fusion would be enough to defeat him, with the only way to win is to find
and I still don't think we've seen Beerus at full power either, even in the manga. I haven't read the manga, but from what I can tell, Beerus is still never gone full power yet.
Putting their trust in the hope of the universe,
how strong is Beerus?
And what comes out is a Saiyan that has truly reached divinity, Super Saiyan God Goku. Goku and Beerus begin their fight and they go higher and higher as Goku is learning to control this new pool of energy. Goku and Beerus clash and their fists are creating shockwaves that is not just going to destroy the living world, but the entirety of Universe 7, which is a hypothetical bubble that houses multiple different space-times, with the afterlife being stated in the Dragon Ball Daizenshuu 4 World Guide to be a transcendental realm that exists beyond the living universe, and was stated in Dragon Ball Super Exciting Guide to be beyond the concepts of space and time multiple times, with this having 2 different interpretations, as the afterlife could be 2-dimensional tiers above 4th dimensional, making it 6th dimensional at a bare minimum, or taking the route that the afterlife itself is devoid of the very concepts of space and time and is transcendental to all dimensions, making Dragon Ball's afterlife outerversal in nature, as it was even stated in the June 2013 V-Jump issue that Goku and Beerus' battle was super dimensional, with the kanji being Shojigen, which literally translates to being above higher dimensions. Goku loses his god form, but the power isn't lost, and instead infused itself into Goku's being, meaning Goku has this universe-crushing power in his base form and is able to stack Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, and even God on top of this, with Super Saiyan being a 50 times multiplier on top of his base form, Super Saiyan 2 being 2 times that, Super Saiyan 3 being 4 times that, and so on and so forth for Super Saiyan God as well,
and
being
now
millions
he's got
of
Super
times
Saiyan
stronger than his
Blue
base
on top of that
Goku
as
was
well.
later able to mix Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God together, creating Super Saiyan Blue, which would be 50 times stronger than Super Saiyan God. And he's able to stack Kaioken on top of this, as he shows this in his fight against Hit, who has the ability to time skip into the future, but Goku is able to snatch him out of the future and bring him back to the present, with Kaioken getting his power 2, 10, and even 20 times stronger. Later, Goku would fight against Jiren in the
it's only temporary, but still,
Universe 11, who is stated to surpass his God of Destruction, and has statements and guides that say he surpassed all of them, with the Gods of Destruction even having statements that
excuse me?
Our immortal from Universe 11, who is stated to surpass his God of Destruction, and has statements and guides that say he surpassed all of them.
There are statements claiming that Jiren has surpassed every universe's God of Destruction? No way. No freaking way.
With
no
the God
way.
Of Destruction even having statements that their
serious?
strength is from a higher dimension as well. Jiren would even surpass the divine timeline Infinite Zamasu, who is a god that infused himself with the cosmos of Trunks' timeline past, present, and future, and possibly even over Vegito Blue, who has statements of being even stronger than Beerus. Goku fights against Jiren, and Jiren is able to block Super Saiyan God Goku's punches with just a single finger, with these punches being millions of times stronger than the ones he threw at Beerus in the Battle of Gods arc. Jiren is even able to casually defeat Kaioken times 20 Blue Goku and forces him to use his trump card, the Universe 7 Spirit Bomb. But it's still not enough. With Goku pushing with times 20 Blue, Jiren is able to push it back with just a single glare, and Goku falls into his own attack, but his will not to die allows him to tap into something. Well, arising from the ashes of the Spirit Bomb is a mortal who achieved a form that the gods themselves cannot reach, the technique of the angels, Migata no Gokui, autonomous Ultra Instinct. Ultra Instinct Goku, simply by existing, is able to shake the infinite world of Void, which you can actually argue this realm is even greater than the 12 universes, as it's implied to be more durable than the macrocosms that these characters at this point can pretty much blink away. Goku is able to access Ultra Instinct 2 more times, once in his battle against the Universe 6 Potara Fusion Kefla, who has stated that she could destroy the entire universe in a single shot, and once more to fight against Jiren, with Goku being so strong at this point that his Kaioken times 20 Blue scales above the God of Destruction Toppo, who with a single Destruction Blast was able to warp the reality of the entire Void. As Goku fights using his Ultra Instinct, he's getting sharper and hitting even harder, to the point that he closes his eyes and dives into Instinct completely. Jiren decides to fire his final and most powerful attack, saying that it's over, but that's when Goku awakens something even more terrifying, making all of the gods stand up in admiration. As Goku is enveloped in a divine angelic glow, he flicks away Jiren's attack and sends him flying before he even knew what hit him, and standing atop the stage is complete in all its majesty, the mortal above the gods, Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. Goku is able to completely destroy Jiren, with Jiren breaking through his limits as well, as both fighters are fighting for the sake of both of their universes, and in the end, Goku is able to overpower Jiren and ultimately defeat him for Universe 7's victory, standing as the mortal who surpassed the gods in only 45 minutes. Entering into the manga, Goku takes on the literal strongest fighters in the universe, as Moro is stated to be even stronger than Broly, and Goku is able to unlock perfected Ultra Instinct, which is so strong that Moro literally breaks his arm on Goku's chest, and even gains techniques like creating his own giant Susanoo. Goku fights against Granola and Gas, who literally wish to become stronger than him, giving up years of their life. Gas is able to take on both MUI Goku and Ultra Ego Vegeta at the exact same time, and Goku is able to use true Ultra Instinct and become slightly stronger than the strongest in the universe, and after fighting his son, Mastered Ultra Instinct is once again his most powerful form, and this Saiyan is only getting stronger. Overall, Son Goku would scale from complex multiversal to outer versal, with infinite to irrelevant speed. Alright, so this matchup is either a pretty good fight.
Yeah, dude. This is nuts. This is nuts. Alright, so I didn't realize that he would do it in like a death battle fashion, but since we are here, I'm going to officially say who I think would win this, I think Goku wins. I think it would be Goku simply because we technically have more feats of him being at this, like, what did he say, like, complex multiversal level? I think that's what Divine said. We have more feats of him being at that level compared to Sung Jinwoo. So it's like, from what I could tell, they are both like at that like complex multiversal level. They're both dealing with entities that like scale like so vastly beyond our universe that it can't really even be calculated. For real, for real. They're both at that level. But I think that Goku wins because he has more feats, I think. But at the same time, you could argue that Sung Jin-woo has more feats because is he not technically older than Goku is at this point? Goku is... Hold on. How old is Goku? Do we know? How old is Goku? Okay, I guess I should say in Super. How old is he at? How old is Goku at the end of Super? Okay, physically 42, chronologically 46. Okay, so... And I know that there was a time where Sung Jin-woo, he was like physically in his like mid-20s, and then he goes through all this stuff, but then he stays within another dimension for decades, fighting off like the different enemies that come to Earth and like the monarchs and stuff like that. He stays over there for decades. So how old is Sung Jin-woo in Ragnarok? Okay, so he physically stopped aging there. Oh, it doesn't say. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't age anymore, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily say, like, his age, but, like, it says here in Ragnarok, he remains physically 24 to 26, but has lived through thousands of years due to his timeless existence as the Shadow Monarch. So yeah, technically he got all the memories and stuff of the former of Ashbourne. He got the former the former monarch's memories and all that and experiences. All of that became a part of him plus his own. So so technically I guess Sung Jin-woo would have more experience then. This has made it even harder. Like, I feel like as a viewer, we technically get more feats of Goku at that level compared to Sung Jin-woo. But at the same time, when you look at Sung Jin-woo's story, he technically has much more experience than Goku does in combat. So, I'm still going to go for Goku, though. I don't know why. I'm still going to go for Goku because, again, I just physically have seen more feats of Goku at this level compared to Sung Jin-woo. So there it is. I'm locking it in right now. I think Goku wins.
Or complete blowout depending on the interpretation. If you take the interpretation that Goku is complex multiversal, he would be on the same dimensional tier as Jinwoo, which would give him a shot at winning, as Jinwoo has some pretty ridiculous hacks and can summon a gigantic army of shadows to fight at his side, which could eventually overwhelm Goku, granting Jinwoo the victory, adding the Saiyan to his shadow army. However, this doesn't really account for any of Goku's transformations that get him millions of times stronger and faster. While Sun Jin-woo would have some win conditions against complex Goku, the sheer amount of transformations and combat skill would give him the edge. Taking the outer-versal interpretation, Goku stomps him and it's not even close. So I'll let you guys decide in the end which way to go. Either way, in my opinion, Goku would still come out on top.
Okay.
So in the end, I guess I'll leave you guys with this. This fight's gonna be Jinwoo's last.
Someone as strong as you should know when you're completely outclassed.
What's up, guys? It's Divine. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like and subscribe and hit...
Yeah, that's what I was saying. But I didn't even take into account the transformations, though. I didn't even take into account the transformations because it's like, you just look at Goku at base level, he's already, like, in that tier. He's already in the, like, they're at the same tier, but obviously there are different levels to the tiers, right? So, like, you add on the Goku's transformations onto that, especially once he gets into God forms. Yeah, like, I still think that Goku would win. This was an awesome video, though. Really breaking it down, like, their stories, how they constantly scaled as the stories went on. This was awesome. I like this. But that's going to be it for me. If you enjoyed my reaction to this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And I will catch you in the next one. See ya.